Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Colombian-born jazz guitarist and composer Julian Avila. He talked at length about his new 2021 CD called Vintage Soul. After so many years collaborating with different artists, he's back with a project that is a mix that embodies his personal experiences and takes the listener on a very emotional journey. He's had a wonderful walk in jazz, and he's got a great story. Enjoy.
Hey, man, it's great to meet you. I appreciate you taking a minute out to the show today.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm so excited.
I love the name of the album, Vintage Soul. Talk to me a little bit about what does this album coming out now mean? I mean, we're coming out of this pandemic. There's more opportunities to do live music. What does this release mean on that, with that in mind, so to speak?
Well, Vintage Soul, it to me is meaning about the music. I heard the music I've been playing all my life, like I've been hearing all my life, because it's about these new times, and the modern times music is kind of crazy. So I just wanted to go back and start doing whatever I have in my background. Yeah, during pandemic it was crazy because I actually started recording the album before the pandemic. I did it like half of the album first. I worked to the studio and played together with my some of the musicians. Then the part left, I had to wait a little bit and try to make the way to make it feel like live, because I wanted to be live. I didn't want it to sound very studio work thing. So I just started recording myself in my home studio, and then I went to some studios and started working with the musicians. It was a very challenging way to do it, but I think it went good, man, and I'm so happy and, very excited to what is coming.
So talk to me a little bit about what you hope the listener gets from this. Those that either buy or download it, what do you hope they ultimately get from what you put out?
Man, to me, it's a cultural mix, like a multicultural thing. I'm coming from Colombia. I have this background, very Latin and of course tropical, and a lot of that. But we also have a lot of pop, rock, and then coming to US, it was I actually very involved into the gospel music, R&B, funk, and that kind of styles, and with that kind of artists I play all the time. I think it's a mix of cultures, man, because I don't think music nowadays is more than that. It's about that. It's about the mix. It's about, naturally, jazz is that, it's not just about the improvisation and that. I think it's mixed. It's what musicians from everywhere, from whatever, you name it, whatever place in the world, they can just play together, and you can get an Indian musician or a Japanese musician and play some things with an American musician or European, and it's gonna be great because we have the same language, which is music. So that's what I feel in this album. I just start like writing some songs. I'm not thinking about how it should sound or how it's going to be sounding or whatever. I just wanted to do songs, and of course the background is there. So I don't know, man. I hope the people enjoy it and get connected with this album. It's pretty emotional, and I feel like at home when I play this album.
That's great. So talk to me about your Colombian roots, growing up there, and kind of how music, and more specifically jazz, became your life.
Yeah, man, it's weird because my father get home with this weird instrument in that moment when I was, I think, 7 or 8 years old, something like that. He get home with this is like a little guitar with 4 strings called cuatro. It's a Venezuelan instrument, actually. He just, I don't know why, he loved that kind of music, like Venezuelan. We have some part of Colombia that we hear that kind of music too. They play that kind of music too. So he just wanted to learn. I don't know why, and I started learning. I just started playing on my way. I didn't really have some how it should sound or what. I just start playing whatever I want, and it comes with some books. So I start playing the way it says, the rhythmics and the chords and changes. So I just start playing that, and then I don't know when I was like 11, I started studying music. I went to the conservatory to study music, and it was very classic, and but also there was a lot of music in between rooms, like in the halls. There was a lot of especially a lot of Colombian things like and tropical and that kind of stuff from Colombia. There's a lot of different styles and sounds from Colombia. It's a very rich country about music. And then everything that we have from America. And my father used to have some R&B and some Stevie Wonder and that kind of stuff when I was little. So I really get to enjoy it, and I was all the time like hearing a lot of different styles. So I think that's one of the things that is very, very into my background, that I really enjoy, and I really grow up listening a lot of different kind of music. And it wasn't until I was like 14 or something like that I really started listening to jazz. It was a friend of mine that just get home with a few albums, and he said, "You will enjoy this, so take a listen." And it was, Pat Metheny and Alan Holdsworth, Scott Field, Scott Henderson, those kind of guitar players. And man, it was crazy. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh my God!" It blew my mind, and I need to do this for a living. I need to do this for my whole life. This is amazing, and that was the moment I said, "Okay, I need to start doing this. So let's figure out how to do it."
Speaking of mind blowing, what was the first live show you saw that made you think, "Man, I would love to do that with my life"?
Wow! I think in the '90s, when I was like 16, that was the very first jazz festival I saw in Colombia, and it was a few Colombian artists actually, and that was Eddie Martinez and a lot of Cuban artists. I don't remember the names, but it was very important in that moment, because it was like, okay, I need to play these. We're great musicians. I remember it was Ernesto Simpson and a few musicians that Armando Gola. Right now they play, for Gonzalo Rubalcaba or Richard Bona, great biggest artists. So yeah, it was that moment where I realized that this is amazing. This is what I need to do.
Did you always have a dream of coming to America? How did all of that kind of work for you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I actually wanted to come to do my, my study music. With the visas and that kind of stuff, I never couldn't do it. But I had a lot of master classes from musicians coming to Colombia. Like Mark White. He was a guitar player, great guitar player from Berkeley. And when you see these kind of musicians, you're like, oh my God, I want to do that, and I definitely need to go to learn it where it's happening, right? So yeah, I always wanted to do it, but I'm just here since 10 years, I think. I've been here, so it was kind of late, I will say. But it was great, man. I just get here, start playing, and trying to make it from scratch. Just starting playing here and there, and It's funny because my whole life I were mostly into the studios, so that was the thing I have it, the real my job. Usually, I mean, I used to record all the time in Colombia, so when I get here, I start playing more live, and that was very like wow, it gives me life, literally.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's very clear that you love what you do, but what do you love the most about being a professional musician?
I just think it's expressing myself. That's why I need to do my own stuff. That's why I need to write music, to play, to improvise. It's just express myself. I can live without it. The rest is nice. Traveling and getting into the studios and getting new sounds and just making your creativity fly. Yeah, this is amazing. But to me, the most important thing is just being myself.
As the world wakes up and we kind of are getting a little bit more out of COVID now, vaccines are spreading. What do you hope we all realize about this long time away from live music, both musician and the audience?
Oh man, I don't know. These times are crazy, definitely, and I think the great thing about it is you have a lot of. I mean, the music can like spread too. Like the virus. The music is getting just to places that maybe it wasn't happening before. Actually, you have the opportunity to record and to work with people that if it wasn't like that, maybe you couldn't have the opportunity because you are not in the places that is happening, right? So I don't know, man. These times are crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how is the world changing, but I think we just have to do whatever we wanted to do. So with our heart, passion, and that's it.
Let's say you come to Kansas City to perform live and you need to convince people to come see your show. Tell me, what would a live show in Kansas City be like?
Man, it will be a spiritual thing. I really think that music is so spiritual. It's like our way to communicate. And how I say it's a cultural thing. I always play with the musicians from a lot of different parts of the planet. So to create that kind of mix, to me, it is the way it goes in the album. And also live. I'm just I don't want to try to do anything. I don't want to impress anybody. I just want to be myself. I'm a guitar player, but I'm also a songwriter, a composer. So this is the way I am. I'm going to be naked right there.
I got one more question for you here, and it's this. Everyone has a perception or an idea of who you are. Your family, your friends, your fans, but you have a perception of who you are. Who do you think you are?
Wow, man. That's a question. I think I'm a believer. I believe all the time. I believe we can do everything. I believe we can, if we just do whatever is in our hearts, we're going to do it. And this is what is been happening, It's not easy to come to another country and try to make it. It's not easy to try to be a musician in these old days, but nowadays. But you just have to do whatever is in your heart, and I think it's going to be well. Everything's going to be good. So, yeah.
Beautiful, man. I like that answer. That's wonderful, man. Hey, it's been great to get to know you. Thank you for taking a minute out for the show. Good luck with the album and the return to the stage. I love seeing that you cats are back out at it. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much for everything, and yeah, looking forward.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Colombia, New York City, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Julian for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.